For many people struggling with infertility, it is isolating and emotional, and the decision to seek treatment and help can be difficult in itself. So our next guest has helped thousands of people navigate fertility treatments on their journey to becoming parents. Joining me this morning to dispel some of the unknown associated with IVF is Dr. Patty Sharma. It's great to have you on the show.
Thanks so much for having me back, Kelsey.
I think this is really scary for a lot of people. There are a lot of feelings associated with the idea of becoming a parent. So Can you take me through some of the emotions that your patients talk about when they are beginning their journey?
Yes. So starting IVF is a big step. And for many patients, they feel like IVF is the last resort when they're trying to have a baby. It involves a significant mental, physical, emotional, time investment. And so when patients come into my office for an IVF consult, really the biggest fear I hear is this going to work? At the end of all of this, am I going to go home with a baby? And so we know that IVF success rates are anywhere between 15 to 70%, but it's not a guarantee. And so that worry is really the first question that comes up. Patients also fear the hormonal side effects. IVF involves taking fertility injections for about 2 weeks to build up the ovaries and develop their ovarian follicles and eggs, followed by an egg retrieval that's under sedation. And this also causes concern for patients. And as you said, it's just that shame, loneliness, and even though we've built up these great communities surrounding infertility, there's still so much societal pressure about when you are going to have a baby. And so all of these just come together for patients when they're about to start the process.
I feel like you must not only be their medical provider, but also the person that they're talking to about all of this.
It is so true, and that's why the doctor-patient relationship is so important.
Okay, so let's talk about IVF. The financial commitment, I think, is the one that people talk about first. It's like the first roadblock for a lot of people. So what information can you give us about this?
So it's true. So IVF or a single IVF cycle costs upwards of $15,000 to $20,000 or more. And so for most people, this is a significant portion of their earnings. They have to take out loans. They're using most of their salary and their savings. So it's a challenge for many out there. The good news is it's not all bad and there is help. Many employers are starting to cover IVF. I work with a charity called Fertility Friends Foundation. It's a registered charity that provides patients with grants to support their journey through IVF. And so it's really important that patients have a financial plan. Just like they would have a financial plan in life, they need a financial plan when proceeding with IVF.
And right across the country, provincially, you should be checking to see what kind of options are available to you, because it does vary. It's not standard across the board.
You're right. Certain provinces will cover a cycle of IVF, certain won't. You have to check with your insurance about drug coverage as well as IVF coverage.
What about the physical side of things? I know that you mentioned the hormonal side effects, but there's also, I'm sure, worry about pain as well.
Yes. And this is a huge piece because remember, most of these patients have never been really sick. They haven't been hospitalized. They've never undergone anesthesia or been sedated. And so IVF involves short-term and long-term potential side effects. Patients worry, will the injections hurt? Will I feel bloated? Will I still be able to go to work? What will happen to my ovaries? During the egg retrieval, a big fear is, what if I wake up in the middle and I'm in pain? How do I ask for more medications? What if I don't wake up from the sedation? I've never been sedated before. And so these are all very common fears. And again, it's important that the patient speaks to their doctor beforehand about what to expect.
Is there one standard answer to that, or does that vary per patient?
I think it's important to have the discussion because our patient treatment plans are individualized and every patient is going to be different. Their fears are going to be different.
Yeah, but your doctor would have the answers to that.
Correct.
Okay, so luckily you say your patients also share their positive experiences with the process of IVF. So what does that look like?
Yes, so I think, we talk about all of these worries and concerns and fears, but in the end, most patients are actually very happy that they underwent IVF. It is really certainly the best treatment we have out there to have a baby. It's highly successful. And most patients feel like if they were in control of the process and they understood what to expect, it was actually a really positive experience. And, it's not to say that everybody succeeds, but the journey is just as important as the outcome.
What would you say to someone watching right now who's either about to go through this experience or knows someone who is? What would you say to them to help them set themselves up for success?
Yes. Ask all your questions. Build a relationship with your doctor and your clinic. It is not unusual for patients to come to me with a list of questions, and I'm actually happy for that because I want my patients to feel in control. No question is a silly question. So will I experience pain? How many cycles will I need? need? What is the cost? How many times do I need to be in the clinic? How do I follow up with you in case there's an emergency or I feel symptoms? How do I know what to do next? How do I find out the egg yield, the embryo yield, if this was a good result? Maintain that communication with your doctor and your care team, and that way you feel empowered and in control as you go through this process.
Doctor, it's so great to have you in studio this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Coming up. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.